то, что аргумент он выдвигает, какая может быть у нас нацификация, когда я еврей, я, если правильно помню, боюсь ошибиться, но, по-моему, у Гитлера тоже была еврейская кровь. Это абсолютно ничего не значит. И мы уже давно слышали мудрый еврейский народ, который говорит, что самые ярые антисемиты, как правило, евреи.
He identified himself with Germany.
Deutsches Volk, besinne dich auf dich selbst, auf deine Vergangenheit, auf die Leistung deiner Väter, ja auf die Leistung deiner eigenen Generation. Vergiss 14 Jahre Verfall und hebe dich empor zu 2000 Jahren deutscher Geschichte.
A certain Hermann Rauschning, who in the 30s and early 40s was writing. He escaped in about 1938. He was an ordinary mayor of Danzig, and at first thought that Hitler was going to save conservatism. But he became very close to him and had many long talks with him, and began to see that the man is crazy. And he was the one who first came out and began to tell the world what this man is standing for, based on his conversations. And one conversation he had with him, he said, "Why are you so upset about the Jews? Why do you have to be so fanatical about the Jews?" And he said, "What characterizes the Jews?" And Rauschning said, "Well, they think they're the chosen people." He said, "Yes, just that. And what about we Germans? If we are the master race, and if we are going to conquer the world, how can we allow another people who has the idea that they are the chosen people? If the Jews are the chosen people, the Germans cannot be the chosen people, and therefore we must exterminate the Jews so that the Germans may take their place. And I will be their Messiah. That is, the Messiah of the Germans."
From the ashes of World War I, Adolf Hitler attempted to build a sinister new world order. Led by a so-called race of Aryan supermen, spreading a reign of terror unlike any the world had ever known. Many believe the Nazis conjured strange spirits and followed occult practices that had lain dormant in Europe for thousands of years. Now documents prove that their beliefs were based on a perversion of ancient pagan law, a twisting of mythic battles between forces of light and darkness, and a terrifying journey into a world ruled by mystics, madmen, and murderers.
Dig! Dig!
Now, we can see that the swastika became a very powerful talisman in Hitler's Third Reich. The symbol is in fact not German, but was adopted from the occult. Its occult significance is the spiritual transformation of man. It's used in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Freemasonry. The Third Reich was a fusion of occultism, paganism, mysticism, and spiritism. Now, spiritism describes the process of summoning spirit beings for various purposes. Hitler was so obsessed with the occult that he wanted to be possessed himself by Lucifer to give him more occult power. Hitler was so obsessed with the occult that he wanted to be possessed himself by Lucifer.
Lucifer is just one of many names used for the devil, like Satan and the beast.
Hitler was so obsessed with the occult that he wanted to be possessed himself by Lucifer.
The title of tonight's lecture is Hidden Agendas because that's exactly what this is about. It's about hidden agendas. Out of the materials of his lodge, behold the master mason rare, whose mystic portrait does declare the secrets of Freemasonry fair for all to read and see, but few there are to whom they're known, though they so plainly here are shown. So it's very important that we know what Freemasonry stands for.
let me give you the classical definition of Masonry, because the Masons obviously themselves do have a definition that they give the public for public consumption. And this is basically it. Masonry, we are told, is a system of morality, veil, and allegory. Now, doesn't that help a whole lot? We can just all go home now, you know? We all know everything we need to know about the Masons.
This is, of course, not true. So there's an internal doctrine for the initiate and a public doctrine for the goyim, for the cattle, just to keep them occupied. So tonight we're going to have a look at Freemasonry and look behind the scenes as to what it really entails. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. Now this comes from a very, very important source. Namely, the source is Morals and Dogma, which is the main Bible, as it were, of Freemasonry, of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. It was written by Albert Pike, who founded the modern Scottish Rite Freemasonry rituals and organization to this very day. This is the instruction to the 23 Supreme Councils of the World, given in 1889, and it reads as follows. Albert Pike, the head of Scottish Freemasonry and the founder of that Bible of Freemasonry. That which we must say to a crowd is, we worship a God, but it is the God one adores without superstition. To you, sovereign grand inspectors general, take note of this quote. I'm going to go a bit slower here. To you, sovereign grand inspectors general, we say this, that you may repeat it to the brethren of the 32nd, 31st, and 30th degree. Notice it says may. It doesn't mean that they do. It means you may. 32nd, 31st, and 30th degree. The Masonic religion should be, by all of us initiates of the high degrees, be maintained in the purity of the Luciferian doctrine. If Lucifer were not God, would Adonai, that's the other one, he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, that lovely, peace-loving, old-time San Francisco, he just destroyed it. Can you believe that? And his priests culminate him. Yes, Lucifer is God, and unfortunately, Adonai is also God. Let's go to Albert Pike directly. Lucifer is the light bearer. Strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, the son of the morning. Is it he who bears the light, and with its splendor intolerable blinds feeble, sensual, or selfish souls? Doubt it not. So who's the God of Freemasonry? Lucifer. So who's the God of Freemasonry? Lucifer.
Hitler was so obsessed with the occult that he wanted to be possessed himself by Lucifer.
Now let me ask you something real quick. Who do you think, generally speaking, runs the world? What type of people are the leaders of our countries and corporations? And the rich and the famous too. I mean, like, are they Christians? Do Christians run the world? Well, no, of course not. Buddhists? No. Do Muslims run the world? No. What about atheists? It's got to be atheists, right? Because we've come such a long way as a society, and atheism is the rational state of mind for the modern type of person, right? No. What about a mixture of people? Different types of people run the world. Let me tell you something. All the leaders from Africa to Europe to the Middle East, Israel, Syria, Iran, all the way to the Americas, all these people, and we'll get to the celebrities in a second, they're not atheists, Buddhists, or Muslims. No. What if I told you that they all belong to the same religion? A secret religion. One that none of them are allowed to talk about. And unless you're a member of this religion and this secret society, as they call it, you won't be granted access to the world stage or of a position of influence. It's become a prerequisite for success now. Now that they've gained pretty much full control and their members are in every place of prominence and power. So brace yourself for the truth that has been hiding in plain sight every day of your life, and for the mind-blowing, out-of-this-world climax to this video. Now look at this. There's a few different ways they display their allegiance. They don't do it often, and some don't do it at all. But most of them can't help themselves, because when they do it in public, it's a hidden statement. And that statement gives them a lot of satisfaction. The celebrities usually cover one eye. You cover one eye, you cover one eye, you cover one eye. Or hide it in some way, and obscure it.
Satanist Kenneth Anger, who co-founded the Church of Satan.
I am who I am, and it's tattooed on my chest, so in case I forget.
Lucifer is just one of many names used for the devil, like Satan and the beast.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration.
I've always identified with the character of Lucifer in the Bible.
I swear to Lucifer. I swear to Lucifer. I swear to Lucifer.
My Lucifer is lonely.
Few people realize that Aleister Crowley is not only the father of modern Satanism, but the father of modern culture as well. Crowley, whose house overlooked Loch Ness and was bought by guitarist Jimmy Page, has for good reason also been called the other Loch Ness Monster. Crowley, who in his book Magic had admitted to sacrificing hundreds of children to Satan, was run out of Italy and called by the press of his day the wickedest man on earth.
Hitler was so obsessed with the occult that he wanted to be possessed himself by Lucifer.
So who's the god of Freemasonry? Lucifer.
The other method they use is what's commonly known as the hidden hand. Here, for example, River Phoenix is doing both the hidden hand and the all-seeing eye, so you can see the direct connection between the two. But in the political world, usually it's done with the hidden hand. That's a secret handshake for the members of the secret one-eyed religion. We'll start with Scott Morrison here, hidden in plain sight as usual, for everyone to not see as usual. Look at the handshake. I was taught this very handshake, or grip as they call it, during my time in this great school of deception. Here's a picture of a normal handshake, and here's the secret handshake. Normal, secret. That's a secret handshake for the members of the secret one-eyed religion. That's a secret handshake for the members of the secret one-eyed religion. That's a secret handshake for the members of the secret one-eyed religion. All of them are sworn to secrecy under the penalty of death. So what's the name of this religion? Well, I'll tell you right now. But keep in mind, the magic word you're about to hear only hides the true religion inside of itself. That's how it's secretly flourished to spread like a cancer around the world. It's a religion within a fraternity. The name of the international fraternity, the one that camouflages, conceals, and cloaks the secret religion inside it, is this: Freemasonry. This is their official symbol, the square and compass. Sometimes with a G in the middle, and sometimes with the eye, the all-seeing eye. This is the same eye that these people are referring to. That's where it comes from.
So who's the god of Freemasonry? Lucifer. The outer shell of Freemasonry proposes to sell whatever religion is prominent in that area. So, for example, if you're living in a Muslim country and you belong to Freemasonry, then the religion that is propagated at the level of the people and at the lower level of Freemasonry will be Islam. If you are living in a Jewish environment, then of course the religion will be Judaism. If you are living in a Christian environment, then the Bible will be the central book in a lodge, and as far as the lower echelon of the members is concerned, Christianity will be the basis for the movement. But in actual fact, if it is controlled by another power inside, then the picture can be totally different. Morals and Dogma, the very highest source in Freemasonry, page 870. The Templars, like all other secret orders and associations, had two doctrines. One concealed and reserved for the masters, which was Johannism. The other public, which was the Roman Catholic. It's quite straightforward. So there is a doctrine that is being taught to the masses, and the masses are the uninitiated. Marx called them cattle. They are also called catechumens. They are called goyim. They are called all kinds of derogatory names. Now, if the outer shell, the teaching of the Templars to the people, was Catholicism, they also, of course, adopted a very pious garb and pretended this was the crux of their religion. But on the inside, they had another religion. So two doctrines, one to the outside and one to the inside. Morals and Dogma, page 820. The Templars were gravely accused of spitting upon Christ and denying God at their receptions, of gross obscenities, conversations with female devils, and the worship of monstrous idol. The end of the drama is well known, and how Jacques de Molay and his fellows perished in the flames. But, now this is the highest source of Freemasonry. But before his execution, the chief of the doomed order organized and instituted what afterwards came to be called the occult, hermetic, or Scottish Masonry. In the gloom of his prison, the Grand Master created 4 metropolitan lodges: at Naples for the east, at Edinburgh for the west, at Stockholm for the north, and at Paris for the south. The initials of his name, JBM, found in the same order in the first 3 degrees, are but one of the many internal and cognate proofs that such was the origin of modern Freemasonry. That's from the horse's mouth. So the Templars aren't really dead, but still alive. In fact, in the York Rite, there is a level which is the Templar level. So everything is there. Let me take you to one of the largest lodges in the world, which has become a museum. This one is in Guthrie, in Oklahoma. We'll go inside. You will see swastikas. They will say they are the other way around. Yes, that might be so, but that doesn't mean anything, because the one way around, it represents the female aspect, and the other way around, it represents the male aspect. So it doesn't make any difference. You will find the symbol of the sun god Ra. You'll find the all-seeing eyes.
The all-seeing eye. This is the same eye that these people are referring to. That's where it comes from.
And then you'll see this statue. It can be male, it can be female. It makes no difference. You should figure that out by now. With the finger on the mouth. So who's the god of Freemasonry? Lucifer. In front of this statue it says, all who stand here stand facing the east. Let each review his obligation and renew them in his heart. So this worship is towards the east, which the Bible forbade. These are the dress of the various Masonic levels. The Sovereign Grand Commander has this symbol on the front. And there you have it on Sovereign Grand Commander Henry Clausen. That it is. That's the symbol of Baphomet. That's Baphomet, the androgenic god. That's Baphomet, the androgenic god.
The Baphomet. The image of Lucifer. The Baphomet. The image of Lucifer as conceptualized by another Freemason, Eliphas Levi, in his book, The Doctrine of Transcendental Magic.
And you will be surprised where Baphomet features these days. And you will be surprised where Baphomet features these days. The red disc was a symbol of the solar deity. Actually, it then represents Set, the god of the underworld, the god, or Sep at least, the god of death. If you look here, IHS, Isis, Horus, Sep, you'll see Sep was always depicted with a red disc. And Sep according to occultists, is Satan, Lucifer.
And notice the symbol of the rose. The rose is always a symbol of Lucifer.
Reach in your billfold and take out a $1 bill real quick. We'll settle the whole thing. I'll let you ask your federal government later how this got on the $1 bill. On the back of the $1 bill, you'll see the crest with the pyramid in it. The capstone above. The eye is Lucifer. The eye is Lucifer. The eye is Lucifer. The eye is Lucifer.
Now, in paganism, the cross was also worshipped as a symbol of the sun, of course. And the crucifix, where Christ stays on the crucifix, is a symbol of the victory of Lucifer over Christ. Who is he? The eye of Lucifer. And he controls all the media. That's why we have email. Interesting. So who's the god of Freemasonry? Lucifer. One is an acronym in the occult for Lucifer.
All of them are sworn to secrecy under the penalty of death. It stands for 666. Yes, indeed. Satan's number. Freemasonry is Satanism in disguise. You cover one eye. You cover one eye.
Morals and Dogma, page 820. The Templars were gravely accused of spitting upon Christ and denying God at their receptions, of gross obscenities, conversations with female devils, and the worship of monstrous idol. Morals and Dogma, the very highest source in Freemasonry. Page 870. The Templars, like all other secret orders and associations, had two doctrines. One concealed and reserved for the masters, which was Johannism. The other public, which was the Roman Catholic. It's quite straightforward. So there is a doctrine that is being taught to the masses, and the masses are the uninitiated. Marx called them cattle. They are also called catechumens. They are called goyim. They are called all kinds of derogatory names.
The other method they use is what's commonly known as the hidden hand.
Many people consider the peace sign obviously a symbol of togetherness and being all as one, peacefulness, obviously. But there's something far more sinister if you take a look further back in time. The ancient Germanic pagans believed it to be a rune, and it had mystical properties, and it was used by various sorcerers in pagan ceremonies. The pagan Romans, particularly the Emperor Nero, used it to symbolize the persecution of Christians and Jews. It was used to represent a broken cross or a broken Jew. That's why Nero crucified the Apostle Peter upside down on this downward cross. Hitler's Nazis also had the death rune on tombstones of SS soldiers. Some claim that the symbol actually means the total death of all people and the death of man. And Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan, used this symbol as the background for his altar.
And you will be surprised where Baphomet features these days. Now remember that the Knights Templars also worshipped Baphomet, who was an Aphrodite, male, female. You see, Sep was always depicted with a red disc. And Sep, according to occultists, is Satan, Lucifer.
How can you detect the witch? Jewelry wise, the goat's head.
And notice the symbol of the rose. The rose is always a symbol of Lucifer.
Lucifer is just one of many names used for the devil, like Satan and the beast.
The peacock, all symbols of Lucifer.
On the back of the $1 bill, you'll see the crest with the pyramid in it. The capstone above. The eye is Lucifer. The eye is Lucifer. The eye is Lucifer.
Who is he? The eye of Lucifer. And he controls all the media. One is an acronym in the occult for Lucifer.
You cover one eye. You cover one eye. All of them are sworn to secrecy under the penalty of death.
So who's the god of Freemasonry? Lucifer. Morals and Dogma, page 820. The Templars were gravely accused of spitting upon Christ and denying God at their receptions, of gross obscenities, conversations with female devils, and the worship of monstrous idols. So who's the god of Freemasonry? Lucifer.
It stands for 666. Yes, indeed. Satan's number. Freemasonry is Satanism in disguise.
You're initiated into Satanism, you're given a ceramic cross, you're told to turn that cross upside down, take the 2 points and break them down, symbolizing that there is no God.
Baphomet, the image of Lucifer.
And you will be surprised where Baphomet features these days. Sep, you'll see Sep was always depicted with a red disc. And Sep, according to occultists, is Satan, Lucifer.
Satan has always been referred to as a lightning bolt. Where do I get that? If you go to the book of Luke, right, chapter 10, verse 18, it says, "And I beheld Satan fall as lightning from heaven." Satanists grabbed onto that right quick and said, cool, we'll make Satan a lightning bolt, and that'll be his representation.
Morals and Dogma, page 820. The Templars were gravely accused of spitting upon Christ and denying God at their receptions, of gross obscenities, conversations with female devils, and the worship of monstrous idol. So who's the god of Freemasonry? Lucifer.
I swear to Lucifer. I swear to Lucifer. I swear to Lucifer.
You cover one eye. You cover one eye.
So who's the god of Freemasonry? Lucifer. One is an acronym in the occult for Lucifer.
Freemasonry is Satanism in disguise. It stands for 666. Yes, indeed. Satan's number. All of them are sworn to secrecy under the penalty of death.
Hitler was so obsessed with the occult that he wanted to be possessed himself by Lucifer.
The other method they used is what's commonly known as the hidden hand.
Like Satanist Marina Abramovich, Lady Gaga was also invited to help Hillary with her campaign. A Sun headline on the day of the 2016 presidential election read of Lady Gaga, who was performing for Hillary Clinton, quote, "She looks like a futuristic Nazi. Outrage as Lady Gaga's bizarre costume at Clinton rally is likened to a Nazi uniform," end quote. The article noted that on the very day of the election, quote, pop icon Lady Gaga has been slammed for her bizarre outfit while speaking at a Hillary Clinton rally, as social media users likened it to a Nazi uniform. What the Sun did not point out is Gaga's past love for Nazi uniforms and her love for David Bowie, who she often emulates and cited as one of her greatest influences. Bowie shocked the public more than once by using Nazi symbolism, glorifying the Nazi or National Socialist Party, which was responsible for the death of over 50 million people, including the systematic murder of 6 million Jews. These same demonic spirits that use Hitler are at work today, folks, but they are using entertainers and politicians all over the world, including the US. Lady Gaga, influencing several millions of more unsuspecting people at the NFL Super Bowl halftime show, not only wore a militant Nazi-like uniform to join Hillary's political rally, as she sought to get more Hillary youth to join Hillary's liberal socialistic movement, a movement that, while not championing the murder of Jews, does champion the so-called right to murder what has become nearly 60 million innocent children via abortion in the US alone. Incredibly, Lady Gaga wore an actual Hitler Nazi World War II uniform when performing her Nazi song Scheib. Gaga reportedly wrote the song the day after she dove headlong into a night of sexual filth and debauchery at the Laboratory nightclub in Berlin, Germany. With reckless abandon, Gaga declared, quote, "I went to a dirty party in Berlin and wrote Scheib the next day. It's about wanting to be bad without permission. Expletive," end quote. In Gaga's live performances of the German song, where she wore the Nazi World War II uniform, she declared, while holding a Nazi helmet over her belly, that the spirits were right for her to make an invasion into the arts.
Tonight was such a beautiful night. You have such a wonderful spirit, and I feel so ready. I feel ready now to invade the earth.
Gaga then proceeds to speak in Fox German and march militantly, and ends the song by appearing to flip off the crowd with both hands. Lady Gaga has also been influenced by the work of Crowley Satanist Kenneth Anger, who we saw earlier in this documentary was a founder of the Church of Satan, and has worked with James Franco to simulate a satanic wedding. Anger also uses Nazi symbolism and insignias in his satanic and homoerotic Crowleyan films, including, quote, images of Hitler and swastikas, including Anger's own collection of authentic Nazi flags, end quote. In Lady Gaga's video for her song Alejandro, right after Gaga is seen wearing a huge, satanically inverted cross, she reveals herself swallowing rosary beads, which is an idea she appropriately stole from Satanist Kenneth Anger and his satanic propaganda film, Inauguration of the Pleasure Dome, where we see the same thing taking place. We also see Lady Gaga lifting another significant idea from Satanist Kenneth Anger in her video Born This Way. In Born This Way, Gaga played a pivotal role in normalizing homosexuality and making it acceptable among millions of youth. The video begins with a triangle in its normal position. By the end of the video, after she seeks to convince her audience that homosexuality is a normative sexual behavior, she inverts this triangle. Gaga appears to borrow again from Satanist Kenneth Anger, who made films to promote the Satanism of Aleister Crowley, like Lucifer Rising, which we see here also begins with a triangle. The triangle, and especially the eye in the triangle, was a significant symbol for Crowley's Satanism.
The all-seeing eye. This is the same eye that these people are referring to. That's where it comes from.
And you will be surprised where Baphomet features these days.
The Baphomet, the image of Lucifer.
Now remember that the Knights Templars also worshipped Baphomet, who was hermaphrodite, male, female.
It says Solve Coagula. Also a song title by fellow Freemason Marilyn Manson. And where does it come from? Here, the Baphomet. The image of Lucifer as conceptualized by another Freemason, Eliphas Levi.
Set, you see, Set was always depicted with a red disc. And Set, according to occultists, is Satan, Lucifer.
Satan has always been referred to as a lightning bolt.
The skull and crossbones, which is a symbol of Jupiter, the god Jupiter. Who is a symbol of course, who is Lucifer.
And notice the symbol of the rose. The rose is always a symbol of Lucifer.
I've always identified with the character of Lucifer in the Bible.
What was your favorite villain at the time when you were a kid?
Well, I was in Christian school, so I think Lucifer went right to the top.
What was your favorite villain at the time when you were a kid?
Lucifer, Lucifer, Lucifer.
Where Christ stays on the crucifix is a symbol of the victory of Lucifer over Christ.
Lucifer is just one of many names used for the devil, like Satan and the beast.
I use teddy bear hole as a euphemism for a deviant sexual act.
And teddy bears are used to represent child sexual abuse. And teddy bears are used to represent child sexual abuse. And teddy bears are used to represent child sexual abuse.
So symbolism is a Masonic language. So who's the god of Freemasonry? Lucifer.
Because I've had another man's penis in my mouth.
But if you suck another boy's cock, that doesn't automatically make you gay.
No, because I did that, but I didn't have a hard-on, so I'm safe.
The whole thing about being anti-gay is because it's in Scripture. But it only says that a man should not lie with a man. It doesn't say about women lying with women.
Doesn't say you can't stand up and fuck him in the bathroom. Doesn't say you can't stand up and fuck him in the bathroom.
Has a TV commercial ever inspired you to pick up the phone and donate to a charity?
No, in fact, I have in my will, if I die and I don't have any living relatives and or the person that I've made the mistake of having as a spouse isn't alive, that my shit should be burned. Not my shit, but my treasures will be burned before giving to charity.
Freemasonry is Satanism in disguise.
As the Beatles were bigger than Jesus, Marilyn Manson is bigger than Satan.
It stands for 666. Yes, indeed. Satan's number. You cover one eye. You cover one eye.
One is an acronym in the occult for Lucifer.
All of them are sworn to secrecy under the penalty of death.
Marilyn Manson is bigger than Satan. But I'm not trying to think I can save the world. You know, maybe the world doesn't deserve to be saved. Maybe they only deserve to be entertained before they're all destroyed. Maybe they only deserve to be entertained before they're all destroyed. Before they're all destroyed. Before they're all destroyed.
I've lived in Russia for about 3 years now, and in that time, more than 120 people have been murdered in hate crimes. Another 900 or so have been injured. They've been targeted by gangs of skinheads who say they've declared war on any outsider. This is Dmitry and his friends. He's the commander of a fascist movement in St. Petersburg called the Slavs Union. The organization claims to have tens of thousands of supporters throughout Russia, claims that are impossible to verify. Its symbol is a redesigned swastika.
Победа будет за нами. Слава России!
Dmitry is 19 years old. He and his offsiders are avowed racists and ready to fight for their cause.
Во-первых, мы посещаем стрельбище практически каждую неделю. Вот, мы готовим наших соратников к рукопашному бою.
Russia's new breed of ultra-nationalists have already shown their propensity for violence. This is an attack in one of the city's underground walkways. The victims are outnumbered and don't stand a chance. The beating has been filmed by the skinheads to train and recruit new members.
Ну, допустим, сейчас вот начнется война там. У меня уже есть люди подготовленные, есть там в определенных там связях контакты. То есть минут так, час им уже буду готов к полному вооружению.
My name is Sam Newhouse. I'm from Boston. I'm 20 years old, and I've now been living in St. Petersburg for 4 months, studying at Smolny College.
American student Sam Newhouse discovered the seamy side of St. Petersburg last August. He was walking along this street at about midnight when he was set upon.
They knocked me to the ground and started kicking me. I got kicked in the face, and then I got kicked around the head for a while.
He's more fortunate than others. In the past 3 years, at least 9 foreign students have been killed in Russia. The 20-year-old thinks he was targeted because of his dark looks. He could pass for someone from Russia's Muslim south, or even a migrant from neighbouring Georgia.
It definitely freaked me out about the prospect of living in Petersburg. I'd never considered myself as part of an endangered minority before, but since then I've kind of had to adapt to my lifestyle, and sometimes when I'm walking at home, I start getting like paranoid that young men are following me.
Well, of course,
Ali Nassor knows the feeling well. Born in Tanzania, he came here as a student. He's now a permanent resident in St. Petersburg and a community leader for the 5,000 other Africans living here. Over the years, he's witnessed the growth of Russia's neo-Nazi groups.
It's like saying, if you don't want to go home, then we'll make you go, we'll force you to go. And in this case, that's why they inflict terror.
After the fall of the USSR, Russia's big cities were swarmed by citizens from the former Soviet states. Most of them are Muslims, and many of them work illegally in markets like these, where Russian customers accuse them of overcharging. To Fyodor, another member of the Slavs Union, these people shouldn't be here.
Ну, как сказать, кто враги русской нации? Ну, так скажем, наши незваные гости. Мы же не лезем ни к кому, ни в чью страну. К нам приезжают, мы их сюда не звали.
You are about to watch a murder filmed by the killers. The victim is from Azerbaijan. He sells watermelons for a living and is a father of 8 children. During this ambush, he's stabbed to death. The perpetrators are young members of a neo-Nazi group. They escape elated into a nearby forest, one of them wielding a bloodied knife. 3 of the teenagers were arrested and given light sentences. One of them is already free. Ali Nassor believes many politicians and police tacitly support the skinheads and turn a blind eye to their crimes.
I'm afraid because these people are, the fascists are stronger and more organized. They have even infiltrated themselves into political parties and all these circles.
Dmitry and his gang say they are a political force. They claim to have supporters both in government and police circles.
Слава России. Слава России.
if it walks like a duck, if it looks like a duck, it's a duck.